Hey, Slaycation Squad. Welcome back to the channel where every tale is a spine-chilling journey into the unknown. I'm your host from the Abyss. And tonight, we're diving deep into the shadows of horror. But before we embark on this hair-raising adventure, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so you never miss a scream. Seriously, you won't want to miss what we have in store for you tonight. The moon hung low in the night sky, casting an eerie glow over the countryside as Rini and Hendra delved deeper into their investigation. Each step they took brought them closer to the heart of darkness, closer to the truth that lay concealed in the shadows. As they combed through the worn pages of their mother's diary, Rini and Hendra found themselves captivated by the tales of horror and sacrifice. The cult, it seemed, had been operating in their quiet little village for decades, preying on their mother had been one of their victims, lured in by their promises of fertility and hope. With a steely determination, Rini and Hendra sought out those who may have had knowledge of the cult's existence. They spoke to the old folk who had seen things they could not explain, who knew too well the secrets of the dark arts. The villagers were reluctant to speak, their fear palpable. But a few brave souls shared whispers of rituals performed under the full moon and whispered incantations that echoed through the night. Armed with these tidbits of information, Rini and Hendra ventured to the places mentioned in their mother's diary. They stood on the cold, desolate hill where the cult was said to convene, feeling the weight of history pressing down upon them. The wind whispered through the trees, almost as if voices of the past carried on its breath. As their investigation progressed, the ghostly presence that had haunted their home began to manifest itself in more malevolent ways. Shadows danced on the walls, cold drafts chilled the air, and objects whirled through the room, defying the laws of nature. A sense of impending doom hung heavy in their hearts. The siblings felt the walls closing in around them, the tendrils of danger reaching out to ensnare them. It was as if the cult had sensed their presence. Their meddling in the forbidden and sought to eradicate them. Their lives, once already filled with uncertainty and grief, had now become a battlefield in the war between good and evil. But Rini and Hendra stood strong, their determination unwavering. They forged ahead, driven by their love for their family and the need to protect the innocent. Fear was not an option. It was a luxury they could not afford. In the darkest hours of the night, they embarked on a perilous journey to confront the cult. Disguised in shadows and armed with the knowledge they had gathered, they crept closer to the heart of evil. The forest enveloped them, whispering secrets of its own as they navigated its treacherous paths. As they arrived at the cult's hidden compound, the air grew heavy with anticipation. The moon shone brightly above, casting an ethereal glow on the scene before them. They took a deep breath, steeling themselves for what lay ahead. Inside the compound, the cult's leader awaited them, a chilling smile dancing upon their lips. The room was adorned with symbols of darkness, the stench of dread hanging thick in the air. Rini and Hendra prepared to face the monstrous figure who wielded power over life and death, their hearts pounding in their chests. A tense silence fell upon the room as the siblings challenged the cult's leader, demanding answers and fighting to protect their youngest sibling. Ian. The leader reveled in their fear, their confusion, relishing in the psychological torture they inflicted. But Rini and Hendra would not be swayed. They fought with everything they had, guided by determination and a love for their family that burned brighter than any dark magic. Spells were cast, fists were thrown, and in the chaos, the truth was finally revealed. As the battle reached its climax, the siblings emerged victorious but not without scars. They had faced the horrors of their past head-on, staring down the face of evil and come out stronger on the other side. The cult was dismantled, its power shattered, and their family, though battered, was on the path to healing. In the aftermath of the confrontation, Rini and Hendra embraced their loved ones, their faces etched with exhaustion but tinged with a sense of triumph. The ghostly presence that had haunted their every step seemed to fade away, as if finding solace in the resolution of their family's ordeal. As the dawn broke, casting a warm light over the land, Rini and Hendra looked to the future with hope. They knew that the horrors they had faced would forever be etched in their memories. But they also knew that their love for each other would be their armor against any future threats. And so, they stepped forward, leaving behind the haunted past and embracing the promise of a brighter tomorrow. For in the darkest of nights, the light of resilience and the power of family would always prevail. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows over the desolate landscape, Rini and Hendra found themselves standing before a dilapidated old barn, its weathered wood creaking eerily in the wind. This was the location they had painstakingly uncovered as the secret hiding place of the cult. The air was thick with tension, an unsettling silence settling over them like a suffocating fog. Rini felt a shiver crawl up her spine as she glanced over at her brother. His normally steady gaze was filled with determination, his jaw clenched in anticipation of what lay ahead. They were on the brink of unraveling the dark secrets that had plagued their family for generations. With trembling hands, Rini reached into her bag and pulled out a tattered map they had discovered in their mother's belongings. It had been marked with cryptic symbols and locations, each one representing a different stage in the cult's unholy rituals. Carefully, she traced her finger along the path, following the twisted trail that led them to this very spot. Hendra took a deep breath, his voice filled with steely resolve. "We must be cautious, Rini. These cultists are not to be underestimated. They have professed their loyalty to darkness and are willing to commit unspeakable acts in the name of their twisted beliefs." Rini nodded, gripping the hilt of the dagger she had tucked into her waistband. It had belonged to their mother, passed down through the generations as a symbol of their family's determination to fight against evil. The blade glimmered in the fading light, a flickering reminder of the horrors they were about to confront. As they cautiously entered the barn, the scent of rotting hay and mildew assaulted their senses. The air was thick with a palpable malevolence, as if the very walls were conspiring against them. Rini's heart pounded in her chest, and every nerve in her body was on high alert, sensing the unseen presence that lingered within. With each step they took, the sound of their footsteps echoed through the cavernous space, a haunting reminder of the desolation that encompassed them. They made their way through the dimly lit corridors, following the faint sounds of chanting that grew louder with each passing moment. Finally, they arrived at a large chamber, bathed in an unholy glow. Ancient symbols adorned the walls, illuminated by flickering torches. In the center stood a figure draped in a blood-red robe, their face obscured by shadows. The cult leader, the one responsible for the suffering that had consumed their families' lives. Rini and Hendra locked eyes, their unspoken determination lending them strength. Time seemed to stand still as they approached the cult leader, their steps deliberate and purposeful. The figure turned to face them, a sinister smile playing across their lips. "Ah, the prodigal children return," the cult leader sneered, their voice dripping with malice. "You thought you could escape us, but there is no running from fate. Your bloodline is cursed, and nothing you do can change that." Rini felt a surge of anger rise within her. She had endured years of torment and fear, and now it was time to face her demons head-on. With a flick of her wrist, she unsheathed the dagger, its blade glinting in the eerie light. Hendra stood beside her, his eyes ablaze with determination. "We will not let you continue your wicked deeds," Rini declared, her voice quivering with a mix of fear and defiance. "Our family will break free from this curse, and you will not stand in our way." With a sudden burst of movement, the cult leader lunged towards them, their intentions clear. Rini and Hendra fought back with every ounce of strength they possessed, parrying blows and striking back with calculated precision. The air crackled with energy as the battle raged on, the clash of steel against steel echoing through the chamber. As their opponents fell one by one, Rini and Hendra felt a renewed surge of hope. Their resolve had not wavered, and their determination to protect their family had only grown stronger. The cult's reign of terror was coming to an end. With the last cultist defeated, Rini and Hendra collapsed to the floor, their bodies weary and battered. The weight of their confrontation settled on them, the gravity of the moment sinking in. They had faced their greatest fears and emerged victorious. As they made their way back home, the night sky twinkled above, a reminder that the darkness could never truly extinguish the light. Rini and Hendra knew that their journey wasn't over, that they would continue to face challenges and unimaginable horrors in the future. But for now, they relished in the knowledge that they had taken a stand against evil and emerged victorious. Their family may forever carry the scars of their haunted past, but they would face whatever came their way together. armed with the strength and resilience they had forged in the depths of darkness, and amidst the shattered remnants of their family's curse. A flicker of hope burned brightly, illuminating the path that lay ahead.